All right. Well, thank you for joining us to welcome you back. We've had a 90-day, I don't know, not hiatus, a 90-day.
Well, it about drove us crazy, to be perfectly honest,
Yes,
right? I mean,
yes.
we're so used to doing,
Yes.
and it was good for us.
Being busy,
Yes,
like being active, being busy. And so this has been a divine delay. And so we're ready to get going because we know we wrapped up Meet Me in the Penthouse in 2025 and right at New Year's. And so 90 days later, here we are. And we thought, well, just so you know who we are, by the way, I'm Molly Croker, my sister, Amy Mosser. We are going to share our stories about who we really are, what makes us, unique. I think the biggest thing is we are sisters. We are 20 months apart. With that, when I got
raised by the same parents, raised the same way,
yes,
but two totally different lives, which I think is what makes us so unique.
Yes,
two totally different stories.
Yes, and we do have a brother. Our older brother is 6 years older, but Amy and I are 20 months apart, and our kids are days apart. Our first sets, the big ones, we call them the big ones. The big ones are 13 days apart, and the little ones, they're going to forever be known as that. The little ones are 5 weeks apart. So Amy had a girl, I had a boy, and then we flip-flopped. So it honestly, we did not plan it. I swear to you, Amy was a pregnant, you wore maternity dresses.
Bridesmaids dresses.
Thank you.
So she didn't think, yes.
Three of them in March. And so I thought, well, who would be pregnant? Back then, it was, you were not in people's weddings when you were pregnant. You were just asked not to be in them. So, I got married first, all the whole thing. I had a game plan of 5 years and then 3 years between the kids. So, and you're going to hear a little bit about my story and why I am the way I am. So I'll just kind of dive in so we can catch you up to speed on what you've missed out on. But I am a child of a middle child. Let's start there. I am the middle child.
Really, that's all you need to know.
I am the proud middle child. And, but I really am. Although I probably do identify with a lot of older sibling, but also a lot of middle child things. I'll let you all decide. You guys can decide that.
She had fun. She had fun as a high schooler. Let's just say that. Typical middle child.
I literally, yes, I did. I lived life well. And I still do. I still do. But, so a little bit about me. So I have been married, I'm grateful. Number one, grateful for the parents that have raised us. And you're going to hear from our mom. We're going to bring her into the studio because she is a hoot. She is hysterical. She is a riot. So,
and there is not a day that goes by that somebody does not text, email, or find us in person and say, we met your mom. Because Molly is just like our mom. She works out 3 hours a day, so she doesn't know a stranger. They attend every single event. My parents do. Husker, everything. And she always makes the big screen. And she always has crazy glasses on. So anyway.
Yeah. Yes, she's always on. You're going to find her on ESPN. The kids, the grandkids, they screenshot her, all the friends. People from all over the United States literally are like, saw your mom again, and there she is. As if she plays volleyball or women's basketball or soccer or you name the sport. They're not huge football fans. They're not. I mean, not that they're not fans, but they definitely are at everything. And so
inside I do.
Sports. There are yes, I do take after. Well, we both have incredible qualities that our parents gave to us, and that. Number one, that is the power of loving people. We love people, and that's what my parents. That's
all
what
three
they
of us
have done.
are woos on the Gallup. Yes, Mom, Molly, I, my daughter, my 26-year-old, we're all number one woos. So that
win over others. For those people that don't know what that is, you're like woo. Win over others.
Winning over others. Yeah.
And so, but we love people. We like it is very intense. It is. My kids have always said this, you get on a plane and you never get off the plane without meeting a stranger. So,
which explains why our podcast is called Meet Me in the Penthouse, because it's energy. We have people tell us all the time, you have the best energy.
Yes.
And so Meet Me in the Penthouse is energy. It's a mindset. It's a frequency.
Yeah, it's the frequency. So what floor do you want to live on? We've chosen to live in the penthouse. Not how we were raised, but we want to live on the floor of the penthouse. So obviously middle child, we'll start back there, middle child and raised up, athletic, but not like extreme athlete. I mean, we did all the things. We were busy. I mean, back in the 70s,
well, Mom would go to bed on Friday night at 10 o'clock and she'd say, oh, by the way, I signed you up for a race at 6 a.m. To run 3 miles.
Which honestly, my self-confidence was zero back then. So I was just worried I'd get last.
Yes.
I was like,
well, you wouldn't get last because I got last. She got second to last.
Yes, exactly. And then I'm like, one day I'm like, well, somebody has to get last. And what if it's you? It's okay. At least you're out there. So yes, grew up with a mom. This is pretty cool the way we grew up. My mom gave up smoking. And granted, she smoked with all of us, and I was the lightest at 8'8". So back then they were like, you might.
If you smoked, you had not very heavy babies.
Yes.
But she had 9-pounders.
Yeah. Amy was almost 10 pounds. So she's like, thank God I smoked. So that's where we're coming from, people, is my mom smoked, and then out of the clear blue, when I was 9, she decided to give up smoking and start running that same day. And I remember those blue suede shoes, size 7.5 from Kmart. And I would try them on, and I thought they were the coolest things ever. Like, they obviously were not even, they were a tennis shoe, a tennis shoe.
And that's what she chose to run in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was like what she made it to the end of the driveway. I mean, a whole end of the driveway the first day. This is where persistence and resilience comes in, is the next day ran and made it a block. And within a week, she ran to the Liederkranz, which is the nursing home, half a mile down.
In Grand Island, yes.
Down and back in Grand Island, that was a mile. And then my mom started running. Like, that was her thing. She ran in the morning. And I was a little girl. I remember that I opened the door one Saturday, because Saturdays are...
And she got up at 4:30 in the morning to do this run.
Yes. And these are long run days. Any runner knows Saturday, you always have a long run day during your week. And so that was theirs. They were all teachers. And I opened up, and there's Officer Cordham from our church, and he has my mom. And it was unsafe for women to be running that early in the morning in Grand Island. This is the 70s. There was no invisible fences. The paper route person scared the death out of you over and over and over, just because you weren't expecting someone out that early in the morning. And of course, it's the 70s, so you weren't going to pick up your phone and dial your friends to let them know, like, I'm not coming, because you'd wake up the whole house. So out she went. Everyone canceled for some odd reason, and she's like, well, I'm still going to get the miles in. I've got a marathon. Yes, my mom ran a marathon. I'm going to just run a marathon. And this is when women weren't running. This is the 70s still. So there he is with my mom, and we just laughed about it. But the thing is, she went on to create Grand Island Joggers, GI Joggers, and it was a community. And that was what we really saw growing up right away, is we would travel to her races, 10K races, and watch her. And again, she wasn't winning them. She was darn near the end. I mean, there was nothing impressive other than she said that, what she said she would do, she did. I mean, and she was resilient.
And we did. We saw our parents make decisions quickly. They persisted. They are resilient as hell. And they built communities, which is exactly what Molly and I do.
Yeah. And so we saw that modeled, but I think it's just so neat that we saw that being modeled, but did we even know that did not impress me at the time. I mean, it impressed me that my mom ran, because I will tell you, none of my other friends, none of their moms ran. So that was really cool. That was a cool way to grow up. Fast forward, because I'll let you tell Dad's story a little bit more, I'm in high school. I go on, and I go to Nebraska Wesleyan. I did not want to go there at all. The school was smaller than my high school in Grand Island, and my mom said, if my mom and dad said, if you hate it, because at this point I had seen other schools. I wanted to go where my best friend was going. If you hate it after a semester, you can transfer, because I started out pre-med, and that's where my mom was a teacher. That's where all of her top students went, and that's where I was going to go. And so away I went, and I thought, this is so dumb. This is so small. And oh my gosh, it was the best thing in terms of growth for me. I grew tremendously.
And those are still our best. This is what you got to love about Omaha, Nebraska, about Nebraska in general, right? Those connections that we made at Nebraska Wesleyan are still, those are our doctors that we go to. There are people who buy houses from me in Omaha and Lincoln. And so it was the best connection for us.
It really was. It was awesome. In fact, the girl that just rode the boat set a new record. She is from Wesleyan. I'm like, well, I have to meet her, and it'll be so easy because we all went to Wesleyan together. So there I am at Wesleyan, and I am growing like a spring flower, friends. I am in everything and anything you could
doing
try
all
out
the
for.
beer slides she could do
I did.
as well. She threw in a few beer slides.
I also did those proudly, and that's why I have scars on my elbows. But man, I am proud of these elbows. But I just had a chance to really lead, and that is so important. We've even said that about our kids, is they didn't choose to go there, but we're like, that is our one parenting mistake. We should have made everyone go to Nebraska.
I do have a child that for his 5th year is at Wesleyan.
Yes, he is. Goodness. That is right. We ended up with one there for his final and 5th year, maybe 6th year. We're not sure.
He'll be a 30-year-old freshman.
Charlie, we love you. But that it just goes to show you, that really created a strong community, a sorority. Shocker. I was a social chairman of my sorority. But went on, I think the greatest thing is I knew my instructors so well, and I still, to this day, I still see them, many of them, and they still remember me. We still get together. I mean, I love that about a school that really cares about you. So I flew through Wesleyan, and but that first semester, I was like, well, I don't know. The verdict is still out there. And I met my husband December 2nd. Now, that in itself is the best story ever. It really is a great story. I'm not going to tell that story now, but December 2nd was our first date, 1989, called a sorority party called Partners in Crime. They did it for love. Yes, you were handcuffed to your date. And I don't think today, that probably wouldn't fly in today's world. It would probably be illegal.
And you couldn't have the trash can punch in the fraternity anymore either, I assume.
No, or the beer slides, for sure not. But grew up in a great time. So fell in love with my husband, and I thought, are you kidding me? Colorado State University? No way. I'm staying here at Nebraska Wesleyan. I just found the man of my dreams, and I have. Grateful again for my parents and my in-laws, both married 62 years, and we're going on 33 years. So I guess God was just like, girl, you need an easy life, so I'm just going to give you the man of your dreams right here at age 18. So feel blessed about that. Went on to sports medicine, physical therapy, a career there, moved away to Iowa. My husband still says it's his favorite time of his life. I'm like, interesting. My whole family's back here, but it was the best time of your life. But he's like, we had to depend on each other. So went there and had an incredible career, found great friends, still travel with those friends 30 years later. I'm so, so grateful. But had a baby, and we drove away from the hospital asking if we woke Sam up every 4 hours. We thought, this is so easy. Why didn't we do this sooner? And then he cried for the next 10 months. So that was a little trying. And so during those years, I called Amy, and she was like, you know what? I have this great customer. She shops at the golf shop that they owned. Why don't you interview with her? So long story short, we moved back. We moved back to Lincoln, and we've been raising kids together ever since. So I'm going to cut to Amy before we continue with me.
Yes. So again, same parents, same experiences, but I love this because in life, you can experience the same thing, but have a different reaction to it. So I ended up at 21 in a marriage because that's what we did.
Yes.
And
somebody called it something the other day.
Oh my gosh, you go to college, you graduate in May, and you get married in August. That's what we all did back then.
Yes, I know.
In the 90s. So anyway, got married and was a serial entrepreneur. I have not worked for anybody since I was 22 years old. I have been unemployable, as I call it, but it's been 100% faith. Like
never known where your next paycheck is coming from.
100%.
Since 22. That's remarkable.
And I'm 23. No. So for 31 years, 100% commission, never ever known where my next paycheck was coming from. And I love that. I would never want to live any other way.
Shift into spring at Edwards Nissan. Lease the 2026 Nissan Pathfinder SV, a third-row SUV, starting at just $399 a month. That's the 2026 Pathfinder SV starting at just $399 a month with $1,699 due at signing. Don't let spring pass you by. Get to Edwards Nissan and shift into something new. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Nissan.
$1,699 due at signing. $399 a month for 36 months. 10,000 miles per year. Includes acquisition and $180 dealer dock fee. Excludes tax, title, license, and lien fees. Lease selling price $41,560. Stock N225389 with approved credit. Offer ends 4/30/26.
Shift into spring at Edwards Hyundai. Lease the 2026 Hyundai Kona SE all-wheel drive starting at just $179 a month. That's the 2026 Kona SE all-wheel drive starting at just $179 a month only at Edwards Hyundai. America's best warranty. 10 years or 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty plus Hyundai owner assurance. Learn more at edwardshyundai.com. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Hyundai.
$1,999 trade equity or cash down required. 24-month lease. 7,500 miles per year. First payment to assign. Stock H66901. Excludes registration, acquisition fee, tax, title, license, and $180 doc fee. Security deposit waived with approved credit. While supplies last. Offer ends 4/30/26.
But during that time, and this is what's so great, that we owned golf stores when the Tiger Woods era was in. We started to buy rental properties. We didn't have any money. We had $500. The gentleman carried the rental properties back, and we ended up buying 16 and then selling a couple so we could finance them. I mean, it was like, it's been the most amazing entrepreneurial story.
You guys were so what is the word but just so optimistic. Like, I remember Mom and Dad thought you were absolutely crazy to load up a mower, which, of course, at this time you lived in an apartment.
We didn't live in a home. We bought a duplex before we owned a home. So we would load the mower up in our
go mow the lawn because you're the management company and make. I think you were making $10 extra on that property a month.
Which maybe is about 30. It. We didn't go to Cancun. Yeah. We bought rental properties. I mean, so I will. I have since divorced and remarried, but I am so grateful for the business, all of the businesses that we owned through the years. We owned the golf store. We owned about 1,000 rental doors, a 90,000 square foot gym. We have owned storage units. It has been the most incredible.
We only owned a home. We did.
I did talk you into an 18-plex.
You did talk us into an 18-plex, and that. Oh wow, yeah.
That'll be another episode. Yeah. But so again, completely different journey. And when two children, same as Molly, different journeys. We've always lived really close together. But the thing that we both have done, if you can get that, from our parents being raised by the way we are, is we make decisions quickly. We are persistent as hell. We don't ever quit. We are resilient as heck. And we love people. Yeah. We absolutely love people, which is why this podcast and why Meet Me in the Penthouse has been so important to us. Obviously, I'm in real estate, so we know it's a physical piece of property. But as we mentioned, it's a mindset. It's an energy. It's a frequency. We expect great things. We expect the white glove delivery of everything, right?
Of walking up here today. I mean, we had people filming for us. It's like,
because the studio was amazing, by the way. Yes. I mean, my gosh, they treat you like gold.
Yes. When you treat others like gold, you get that treatment right back. And that's always what we saw. Amy and I grew up at AA meetings with our dad. He's 50 years sober. And we loved it. I mean, my gosh, unlimited fountain pop, number one, say no more. And
coffee and cigarettes.
And cigarettes.
Who doesn't love that?
Who doesn't love that? But we saw my dad, we saw him build communities. And so I think that's something that's been in our hearts for a long, long time, something that's been so important to us. And we loved, me coming back from Iowa. I know I went really far away, just down the road to Iowa.
She went further than I did. I went from Grand Island to Lincoln to Omaha.
But just to be in the community. And I even said that yesterday to somebody. They're like, oh my gosh, I couldn't get into the doctor. I'm so glad that you knew who to get in. And then I walk in, and of course the nurse is from Ashland, Nebraska, where you're from now. And I love that and I said, I am so grateful that we grew up, this is a girl I went to high school with. Amy and I went to high school with. I'm like, I'm so grateful we grew up in Nebraska, because it's just, everyone. It's a small state. You honestly know everyone. Even if they're in Western Nebraska, somebody's uncle that's out there, certainly. So we got to see these communities being built, which is why we're so excited to be a part of this community now.
Yes. And it is so important to us, because our parents taught us this, to leave others feeling better than you found them. So to leave others with a feeling of increase, and that is what we want. We want somebody, when we leave, even when we pass by and when we check out at the grocery store, of course, when I sell a home or any of our other businesses, we want people to say, oh my gosh, the whole Maya Angelou thing. People will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And that is what we want. And that's what our parents instilled in us. And that is what we hear nearly every day. Like, your mom your dad made me feel this way. You know, our dad is 85 and still, like, when I post something on Facebook, when we post, "You're beautiful, Amy Margaret," I'm like, who's 85-year-old dad? But that is what they instilled in us. And so that is what you're going to get from us with this podcast.
And also, if you're friends with our dad on Facebook,
he will comment on everything.
He comes with a disclaimer. He will comment on everything.
We're like, Dad, everything. That might, I mean, somebody, anyway.
Yes, he's just very happy to be on Facebook and commenting. So just know that as we move forward with this. But yes, and just, it's on our hearts also just to help women and men. But we're women, so we love helping women, but each building successful businesses to the top 1%, different industries, right? Mine's been in social selling, yours has been in real estate, but building those communities, building women up, building teams of people globally, and knowing, okay, what's next for us? Like, what's next for us? Because, you know, I hear people talking about retirement, but we like to call it rewirement. But I'm like, oh my gosh,
we're just getting started.
In fact, today, like driving to Pilates, I'm like, I only have 45 more years left. I've got to get busy.
To hit the Centurion Club.
We're going
to hit that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much impact to still make. Yes. Like, who can I inspire? Who can I increase? Who can I pour into today? And that's something that's so important to us. And that's what we love, is helping women who are like, I'm here. I'm so successful. But now what's for me? Because I don't want to do it the hard way. But I want to just do it like the effortless way. And that's really what we're about, is
and teaching that knowing, listening to that knowing. I always, you know, when you ask someone, I remember my broker asked me this, "What do you really want, Amy?" And nobody had asked us, particularly women. Nobody had ever asked me, like, and I thought, well, I don't know what I want. And she said, "Yes, you do."
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is what I want. So just to be able to say, you know what you want, it's that inner knowing, right? We call it, you know, we have a strong faith. We call it God. You know, like what does that feel like? And then instead of playing small, instead of taking care of everybody else, instead of people pleasing or worried about what other people think, really following that tug and stepping out and making a decision, make decision, step out. And we will lock arms with you, because we have locked arms with so many women who have done amazing things. And that's what our priority is on this podcast.
Yes.
Like, we want you to make the decisions.
Make decisions quickly. We always say, like, our mom made the decision to stop smoking. Our dad made the decision to stop drinking. I mean, that was a decision. I'm sure my dad, had he realized, he thought he was just going to a meeting to learn how to drink socially. He had no idea that was going to be his last drink. And I'm like, I wonder if he would have rethought that if he would have known. But praise God. I mean,
the probation officer may be forced him.
Yes. I mean, it changed our family's life forever. So decisions do. But it's women, it's especially women. They just get stuck in this pit of disappointing others. What will other people think of me?
I'm too old.
I don't
have a college degree.
Yes, I don't. I hear that from some of my friends. Like, well, I don't have a college degree. I'm like, honestly, whoever asks about that. I mean, good for you, but some of the most successful people I know in the world do not have a college degree. So it's like teaching women, like, slow down, listen to that inner guide, because there's a lot of times that and we'll talk about this in another episode, but going from needing to wanting to believing to knowing, like Amy said, it is that inner knowing. You do know. You know exactly what you want. It's just using your voice to say it.
Yes. And we know that this studio, Heard at One, we are incredibly grateful, first of all. And we know that this is what we are put on this earth to do. And I mean, 'cause people are thinking, you're in your 50s. Who the hell wants to listen to some old women answer?
Old women? I choose to.
Young. Aging backwards. But who wants to, you could tell yourself that. And I'll tell you what, we have just so many people that we're so grateful for that listen. And we just hope that we, again, leave you with a feeling of increase and making decisions. And so, and meeting us up, in the elevator. There's room at the top in the penthouse.
Yes. And honestly, that's why we're here. We're here to build communities. We love the opportunity to grow and really, my husband moved us out to the lake. It was his dream to live at the lake. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is the last place I want to live, like with toads jumping around and frogs and all that gross stuff. but it is the happiest place I've ever been. And it's so nice because we're right here in Omaha. Like we're right.
Yes.
So now we get to build communities in Omaha. We've done that in Lincoln. We've done it throughout our lives. And so we're just so excited that her dad has trusted us to like, hey, let's go out, let's build people, let's build communities. Connection is so important to us. I always say, you know, if you're not a hugger, I apologize right now. I'm going to come at you. And it was cute. The other day I had a friend say, I respect those boundaries. Like the gal was immediately like, oh, you're a hugger. And I was like, I am, but I respect your boundaries if you're not. But I want my heart to be to your heart, like my heart to your heart. I'm not a sidearm hugger, but you can still come into our community if you're not a hugger. But that's what we want to do. Is
Molly will lunge at you. Just be prepared.
build communities, build women, build people, and let them operate at the frequency. Because what happens if you're living at Penthouse Frequency? You attract all these things because you're taking action. Attraction has the word action in it. So what does that mean? We teach women we teach you how to make a decision quickly.
Yes. So we look forward to so many more episodes of Meet Me in the Penthouse, and we've got some funny stories too. We'll have you rolling and laughing, like even about the name with what our mom said.
Oh yeah, we're going to have her on for that. That one will be a good one. So
yes,
thank you for joining us. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Meet Me in the Penthouse. And we would love to have you follow us at www.sistersnextdoor.com.
Anywhere that you listen to your podcast, please feel free to give us 5 stars because we know you're going to find us fabulous, and pass this along to any friends that you know would enjoy this episode.